Well, this is the trading game. What we're doing is beginning with 100,000 US dollars right there. And we want to end, basically, with more than $1,000 if the objective is making money. But generally speaking, we really are learning objectives are just to interact with the markets, collect some prices, make a few trades, collect a few numbers, submit a few printouts, and prepare a final report. That's what we're doing, okay? So we're trying to understand about financial markets and the different kinds of securities. There are 100 raw points on this, for which you get 30 points for the first submission, which is due at the date in Table 1, which is just down here at the bottom of this first page. Monday, October 25th is the first due date, and the second due date is November 8th, and then the final stuff is due on November 22nd. So we've got 30 points for that first submission, 30 for the second, 40 points for the third one. If you do ignore the third one, you don't get to keep all 60 points from numbers 1 and 2, but rather just ignoring submission 3 actually incurs some penalties. You lose 25 points based on that. Now, you submit these papers in your classroom when they are due. That's the Monday dates. And if you're in an online class, whether you're either on campus online, in which you drop them off at the reception desk in Austin 200, staple them together. Staple your papers together and put your name. Everybody, staple your papers together and put your name on it. If you're in the distance online, then what you need to do is snail mail to the address down here your papers. Staple them and put your names on the front page, okay? Now, the standings with the scores will be published after all the scores are accumulated. After that, November 22nd, the submission is graded, and it's just it's difficult to get feedback to you otherwise, but feel free to use discussion boards or talk with your teacher if you have one, or email in e-learning. Okay, now the basic idea is that this report, this assignment, it's described in the 4 parts of this document, okay, about 9 pages there. And the main idea is that you've got this $100,000 and you're being required by me to buy $10,000 or more of a common stock, but you have to buy these 6 things. So you can't spend all your money on one thing, because you got to buy some of these 6 things, at least $10,000 in each. A common stock, a mutual fund, a corporate bond, treasury security is the 4th one, some sort of an option, call option or put option would be the 5th one, and the 6th asset in your startup portfolio is going to be a foreign currency exchange traded fund. Okay, so that means you're going to spend at least $60,000, and you're going to record the prices of these guys in the spreadsheet, and you're going to show how many shares you're buying. Now, okay, you also, let me see, don't be nervous about doing this because you've never done it. That's not a problem. It's not real money. I just want you to see what the markets are about and collect some prices and just get some risk. Get some exposure to this stuff here in the finance course. So, very few rules. One of them is that you're going to buy these 6 securities, at least $10,000 in each, and you can buy extra securities too if you want, but you got to buy at least these 6. That's the minimum, okay? Now, then 3 or 4 days before the second due date in Table 1, sell 2 things that you own. You have to choose. Sell your winners or sell your losers, but anyway, you make the choices. You sell 2 things, and then you also buy 2 things, okay? Buy 2 things before that second due date. And then the next rule says 4 or 5 days before the third due date, that's the last one, you sell off everything at their prices and deposit those cash flows in your brokerage account, then prepare the final report and submit them for the third due date. Now the 4th rule, and there's only 4, is that I want you to go look at some expert resources over here in our library if you're on campus. Whether you have classes or you're online on campus, you all are required to go to the business library and get a couple of printouts over there. Now, if you're in the 901 off campus online, then you can't come to our library. And you should look at this document right here, and it tells you about the substitutes that you get because you're off campus and can't go to the library. But everybody has opportunity as some points, bonus points, for getting these printouts in a timely way, because we don't like lines to form at the library. Therefore, we give some sort of a bonus. Like if you get your printouts before October 24th, then that's 5 points, raw points added to your score, and 3 points if you do it by November 4th, a point by November 14th, none if you do it by the end of the game. Okay, and if you ignore it totally, you get penalized for not doing it. Okay, all right. Now, the next parts of this handout describe choosing your startup investments, and we're going to go over these in detail, but in the next video. So, let's get ready for it. There is one thing as you watch the next videos, is that if it's an older video and it references how we used to start in a foreign currency like euros or something, we're not doing that this time. We're just starting with US dollars, we're using US dollars to buy everything, and then we're ending up with US dollars. All right.